Can anybody see me?
Alright, now you can see me. Maybe can't see anything in the back because it's dark. Anyways, I'm going to do a quick video here. Genre Files comedy this week. Late because I'm a newbie. Maybe I can be excused for this. I don't know. James is usually late. Mike's usually a day late or so. But anyways, this is my third attempt to make a video. Anyways, I'm going to talk about 1931's film, Buster Keaton's Sidewalks of New York, starring Anita Page and Cliff Edwards, better known as Ukulele Ike. If you're a fan of that time period or know music from that time period, Ukulele Ike had a few songs like There's a Bear in My Boudoir, novelty songs like that. I'll See You in My Dreams. I'll Give All of My Love to Mary. He also was the voice of Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio. So if you see him in the movie, you won't recognize him, but you'll definitely recognize his voice. And basically, about this film, it was also directed by, before I start that, Jules White and Zion Myers. Jules White directed a lot of Three Stooges films, short subject films for Columbia in the 30s and 40s. So he's famous for making the Stooges films the more popular ones. And matter of fact, there's a scene in this movie, The Sidewalks of New York, that the Stooges used in their movie, their short subject film Disorderly in the Court. So, anyways, if you ever watch this film and you go watch Disorderly in the Court by the Three Stooges, I imagine it's probably on YouTube, or if you have the DVD collection like I do, you can pop it in and watch it then. But basically, Buster is a landlord of tenement homes in New York City. Tenement homes tend to rent to people who are poor, who don't have a lot of money, hardworking people, who work hard, make very little money. And the Cliff Edwards is his rent collector. He goes to the tenement home. This is how the scene opens up. He goes to one of the tenement homes, collects rent, and the lady there says, I don't have to pay no rent if you don't have to fix the windows. So Cliff Edwards' character is like, yeah, we'll fix the windows. She didn't believe him. Street kids in the street, all of them are kids. There are about 7 or 8 kids. A lot of double entendre remarks, some racist, a lot of what we would consider racist now. Back then it wasn't considered racist. Remarks made. The kids threaten Cliff Edwards, chase him down. You don't see what happens to him, but the next thing you see is Buster Keaton laying on the couch, and Cliff Edwards walks in, and he says, "What happened to you?" And Cliff Edwards goes, "I was roughed up by a bunch of hooligans." I'm paraphrasing. So Buster Keaton says, "Oh, I'll show you how to deal with these hooligans." And so they get in a car, they travel over to the tenement homes. Well, before they get there, the street gang is having a stickball game, and they start a rough fight because a kid missed third base, didn't touch third base, and the guy went accused it. So they start a fight. So there's this big riot going on in the street. No police whatsoever, and nobody trying to stop this thing. Everybody all these kids just fighting, sort of like the dead end kids from the late 30s and 40s. So Buster Keaton gets involved into this riot because they start breaking into his car, they start fighting, and he gets dragged out. And the character Anita Page, the female, I can't remember the character names, but the Anita Page, it winds up being the love interest of Buster Keaton. He sees her in the street because she's trying to protect her brother, who is one of the people in there fighting, and from Buster. And Buster sees her and just goes gaga. So Buster tries to impress her, and he has a lot of money. So, but he also knows the kids have nothing else to do but get in trouble where they live. So he builds a gymnasium there, and he tries to get the children to go over there. They go over there, they tear the place apart. And then one thing leads to another in this, where the kids start trusting him, and they start to see things where, because they all thought, well, Buster's just doing this to get into this girl's pants, and and that was the whole reason. And then he realized that he's just a good guy, and he's trying to help them. So that's what happens there. So I mean, it's a good film. It's I don't want to give too much away. It's nice comedy. Buster didn't seem to be drinking at this point, or when he made this film. A lot of his films, if you probably know, after when he started with MGM, he had an alcohol problem because he wasn't getting good scripts. He had lost creative control of his films. So MGM was telling him what to do, and he wasn't happy. Plus, he was getting divorced from Norma Talmadge, lost his children at that time, and his career had slid down. But this film here, Sidewalks in New York, is his highest grossing film. It grossed, for Wikipedia says, $800,000. Back then that was a lot of money because that was right in the middle of the Depression at that time. But it was his highest grossing film at that point. So it's on the Warner Archives collection. It's an MGM release. If you Buster Keaton fan and you only know The General or Steamboat Bill or The Three Ages or Seven Chances, need to check out his MGM releases. Some of them are fun, some are not that great. You can tell a lot of the films that he's been drinking a little bit, like What No Beer with Jimmy Durante, or Doughboys, which is his other best MGM release. But this is a decent film. You can find it on Amazon or any place that sells a Warner Archives collection. Next week, I believe they said it's going to be war pictures. So hopefully I'll have a chance to make a video in a day or two and talk about a war film. Thank you for listening to my ramblings, and enjoy the movies.